Hey critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Hey critics, you know what time it is. It's time to take a critical review of Jenna and Sheinelle's January 17th episode. Up first, y'all, let's get into the fits. First up, we have Jenna. She basically wore a nice like navy slack style pant. Now it was made a little bit different in the front, kind of like I guess like a sailor. Well, it's not like a sailor shirt, but it was a different kind of a slack. But it was a navy slack pant with a sort of a scrunch, I'd say, sweater that she had on. So it was a simple navy sweater, but it had like these scrunch shoulders. On the shirt, it was very simple though, minimal yet cute, you know? And Sheinelle, she wore a long green dress with like a matching belt. The dress looked like it had some quality, had a little weight to it, you know, and some boots, of course, along with some gold accessories to complement the whole outfit. It was freezing again, y'all, in the studio. And apparently it is one of their colleagues from over at the Third Hour's fault because he likes it cold. Never stop complaining though. Otherwise, they think you found a solution and you ain't found no solution to the problem, okay? So don't stop telling them it's cold in there, but get your little heater for your office, baby. Get your little heater for your office. The ladies talked Fat Tuesday this episode and even bought a king cake where Sheinelle cut the baby out of the cake, which is supposed to mean, I guess you're supposed to buy like your crowned king or queen for the day, and then you're tasked with like hosting like the next party. So I guess the way they figured it out here was instead of it being like a party to be hosted, it's really just going to be Sheinelle buying the cake for next year. So yeah, and she seemed like she was up for it. Plus, I don't think she ever had a king cake before, so it looks like she liked what it tasted like. So yeah, okay. Entertainment reporter Rachel Smith was on the show talking about the scoop. The ladies talked Valentine's Day and of course love lives of all of the Hollywood stars. They talked that proposal that Fantasia received from her husband at a concert that she was hosting, or should I say it was a festival? Either way, she was performing and her husband came on stage and he proposed to her. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking, girl, she been married. But apparently they only knew each other for a short period of time. I think it was 3 weeks. They determined that they were just going to go to the courthouse, get married. There was no like formal proposal. It was really more of like a conversation. We should do this. We should get married. Bam, they made it happen. And now they've been married for 11 years. And he gave her an 11-carat ring when he proposed on stage. But when she put it on, y'all, it did not quite fit. And you could see in the camera, so whoever the cameraman that was that close did him dirty. No, he did himself dirty. He probably should have got it sized beforehand. But with that being said, you could just kind of see that it did not quite fit. I didn't think it was a big deal that it did not fit, but other people was like, girl, stop. And that includes her daddy. And that's what really, I think, sort of like stirred the pot. Her father came out implying that her husband is basically taking money from her, or got some kind of an inside saying that he might be funneling, getting money. And then Fantasia came out letting us know that her husband is not stealing nothing because she is the CEO and he just runs the business. Now, I don't think she said quite, hey, he's not stealing nothing. It was just more of like, hey, girls, hey, ladies and gentlemen, hey, y'all that's listening to my daddy. I'm the CEO. My man just runs the businesses. Now, the part that the daddy really had people thinking, of course, I think is when he sort of pointed out the fact that Fantasia's husband said in the proposal that he did for her on stage that she chooses him every day. And then the daddy was like, not only is she choosing him every day, but she's putting her husband before God. And I guess biblically, that's not the biblical way to do things. And so, you know, daddy pointed that out, y'all. Additionally, I didn't know that I guess Fantasia performed. Maybe it was for Louis Farrakhan or in front of him. He had a chance to meet not only Fantasia, but also her husband. And I guess somewhere in that meeting, he may have mentioned that, you know, this woman is an angel. You know, how are you showing up for her in a way, you know, I guess as a man? And her husband said, you know, she's my angel. And I think Louis Farrakhan was kind of thinking to himself like, but she needs an angel. That's what she needs as an angel, right? He also brought up Aretha. I'm not going to get into all of the things. I've already kind of shared like a little bit of a summary, but yeah, that's that's what it is. And I'm sure that there's definitely more to come, as it relates to that. People have pointed out the fact that Fantasia's dad and her have not been on the best of terms, and that her dad also did not even get an invite to their wedding. Fantasia's husband has also come out and spoke just about the lack of a relationship, that they've had. And so, yeah, again, more to come when it comes to that. Shout out to Beyonce. She activated her bob. Now, not in the way that everybody else have been activating their bob, but she activated her bob. And apparently she is teasing us with that Act 3, that rock and roll album that she's supposed to be dropping. She dropped hints in the photos that she posted, putting out the speculation. Of course, Mama Tina followed up and only further made us think that we was absolutely right, that Beyonce, she's cooking something in the kitchen over there. Now, I will admit to you, y'all have heard me say it, Beyonce's not just a 1, 2, 3. She's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You think about her performing. So in my opinion, she's actually going to be having an Act 4 with Destiny's Child. That's my dream. That's my wish. Do not crush my dream. Happy belated Valentine's Day, though, y'all. Let's get into Sherri Shepherd, who was the show guest. Sherri was on the show. She joked. She was putting in, she joked that she was putting in her resume on the show. And I thought to myself, girl, you should have been doing that when it was Jenna and Friends, But all jokes aside, I feel like Sherri did a good job of, joking about all of the things. But I know that you can tell on the inside that she's hurt. However, as a reminder, Sherri not giving up. So Sherri don't quite put it as like, I'm canceled. I think she's really thinking of it more of like, hey, I gotta shop around. And by shop around, she means shopping around her show. But of course, she was on Today with Jenna and Sheinelle, and she was on there Tuesday, February the 17th episode. And as a reminder, y'all, I don't have, it may be a little commercially, so if it goes to commercial, I'll jump in and do like a bit of an improv. But I wanted to just sort of like get a little bit more of how Sherri felt in regards to what happened with her. She didn't have a chance as everybody else to sort of say, hey, my show is canceled. And I just did a episode where I talked about, it was Black on the Inside, where I talked about this one magazine who allowed Kelly Clarkson to just sort of like say goodbye, all of the things when she's been trying to get that job back for a long time. With Sherri, are they going to do the same with her? I didn't get it. Maybe it's because Sherri's shopping around and they don't want to make it seem like it's closure. So maybe she did tell them no. But I just hope that they at least asked her to give her an opportunity to have a spread, like Kelly Clarkson. Because she more than deserves that. So let's hear what Sherri had to say. Again, this was her when she was on Today with Jenna and Sheinelle.
We have to tell you, and we told you during commercial break, we are so sorry to hear about Sherri. The last time you were here.
My talk show.
Yes, your talk show.
Yeah, I already put my resume in over here.
Okay, good.
Because I still type. I type 102 words a minute when I was the legal secretary.
Real, that is you have an audience of such dedicated fans.
I do.
Who love the light and the joy and the laughter that you brought every day.
Thank you.
So talk about what went through your mind when you heard that news.
It's so funny. The love has been overwhelming. Like, I've had famous people call me. I've had so many people have called and written and tell me how much of an impact this show made. And I'm thankful that I got to live a dream for 4 years.
Yes.
How many people can say that they got to live a dream with great ratings and, where you got to have a platform that made a difference? And I told my staff and crew, the only thing the mandate is we got to give people joy through laughter. That's it. And I would always pray, Lord, show them that side of you that loves to laugh. And I got to do that for 4 years. But let me tell you something. I'm from the Shepherds of Chicago. We don't go down without a fight. Not at all. So I am still really trying to keep this going. And you haven't seen the last of Sherri.
Yeah.
So this is the part where we get an opportunity to really hear Sherri kind of talk about the fact that, hey, this is not going to be the last time that you actually hear of me. But it's interesting. I feel like this is a little bit of a shift. Sherri was trying to kind of wrap it up, not kind of dwell, I think, on this part. But the ladies kind of continued on. So let's hear what Sherri continues to have to say in more of what I feel like that rooted, honest way of how she truly feels and not necessarily just the surfaced way.
It's on to bigger and better. It's interesting is your fans are ride or die. They wanted you to be able to say it in your own words, your own narrative,
Yes.
even that part of it, to be able to say it yourself. But then when you finally had your moment,
I did, and I just wanted to thank people for sticking in there with me these 4 seasons. Of course, I'm disappointed because I thought I finally hit my stride and I was doing good. I mean, I got to dance with former First Lady Michelle Obama, you know, and people were having fun and wanted to come on the show. So I'm disappointed. I got a great staff and crew that made it look easy. So that's why I'm saying I'm not going down without a fight.
We can't wait. Come back here when you have news about where Sherri.
Planning a wedding.
Now, I will say that when it comes to Sherri, and I feel like how she handled that component, that part of the question, I feel like she did a very good job. But I feel like that was really the true response of what she had. But the beginning of that was a little, you know, kind of get into the conversation. You're a little, you know, surfacing it a little bit, but she went a little bit more in depth. And as she stated as well, she's not going down without a fight. It looks like she's continuing to shop it around. And I'm hoping that she has success. So good luck with everything, Sherri. She is also on her Make It Make Sense comedy tour, and she is on tour now. And I think she's actually been on tour since January. And side note, Sherri, you was looking good. You looked very nice in that colorful dress that you wore. Yeah, I had a little cleavage. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all, okay? There's also a brand new shopping method, apparently, and it comes with a formula, according to Chef Will Coleman. He was on the show promoting the 5-to-1 grocery method from his book called From Cart to Kitchen. The formula should sound or look a little something like this, according to your grocery cart: 5 vegetables, 4 proteins, 3 fruits, 2 starches, and then you get 1 fun item. Okay, so the chef basically went shopping, and with the shopping items he said that it was about a week's worth of food that he could use in his fridge and come up with like actual meals. But he made, like, it was all 3 meals in one day. He ended up making these mini breakfast, I think it's fatatas. I hope I'm saying that right. I've never made fatatas before, but I do like them. I've eaten them before. I've eaten probably more quiche, you know, than probably fatatas. Yeah, lunch was like a lemony potato and chicken soup. It looked really good, but that sheet tray salmon with the cherry tomatoes, I felt like that looked delicious, and the ladies was chomping on it. They was eating it up. Yeah, and then Jenna, she had author Debra Curtis that was on the show to talk about her new debut novel called Laws of Love and Logic. It's the second book from Jenna's imprint, Thousand Voices Books. Curtis opens up about when she dreamed of writing a novel, her journey with dyslexia, and more, and just talking about how it took years to publish her novel, and now she has done it. I might have dyslexia. I don't know what was wrong with me trying to read that whole little mini paragraph, y'all. Oh, let me get it together. If you cannot get enough of today's guest, Sherri Shepherd has a children's book on Hoopla. It's called Sunshine Queens. Aldous Hodge was on the show, remember? And he and Sherri are in a movie together. It's called Brian Banks, also on Hoopla as well. And read all of Jenna's book club recommendations on Libby, including Debra Curtis's book, Laws of Love and Logic. And don't forget, y'all, Sheinelle also has a book. It's called Through Mom's Eyes. In this book, Sheinelle basically interviews celebrity mothers, about raising successful kids. She has an ulterior motive, she says. She wanted to bring all wisdom to bear on raising her own 3 children. The book is set to release on April the 14th. As a reminder, here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our public libraries. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. For access to the full YouTube episode of Today with Jenna and Sheinelle, check out the show notes in the description box. And we are hosting Blogmas in honor of Black History Month, and we'll release a video every day in the month of February 2026. We're also using this as a kickoff to 1,000 subscribers, so tell a critic of a critic to subscribe. Also, be sure to subscribe to our backup channel, Hey Critics, also linked in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel, where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.